Alrighty then, in case you didn't know, it is Soup Timber by Leanne at Mennonite Farmhouse. So I am going to make a blue crab soup. We catch crab all year, we freeze it in our sucky bags, and in this case, I'm gonna use a ½ pound of claw crab meat. The rest of the ingredients are dead easy. We're gonna start with 3 tablespoons of butter in a skillet, add 3 tablespoons of flour, and make our little roux. Then we're gonna use a teaspoon, a large one, of Dijon mustard. And in my case, I'm using Everglades Heat. It is not extremely spicy. You can use Old Bay, you can use Tony Chacheray, whatever floats your boat, right? But that's what I'm going with. And I may not use all of that. Then I'm only gonna be using an 1/8 teaspoon of ground pepper and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And I'm using white pepper. So this could not be easier. It comes together very quickly. And this is 2 tablespoons of sherry, a very dry sherry, not a cooking wine, just true sherry. It's gonna be yummy. So we're just gonna start with my old trusty Magnolite saucepan, and I've got my 3 tablespoons of butter in here melting. Then I will add the 3 tablespoons of flour, and very quickly should be able to cook off that flour, taste, and then we'll begin to add our half and half. I don't use heavy cream. This is an affordable meal in my opinion because we catch the crab in our tidal creek. We freeze it in our sucky bags. Of course, we cook it and season it and pick them in the summer. So to me, I'm not gonna add heavy cream to this and add something expensive to it. All right, so we're about there. So let us get our flour dumped in. I love my Magnolite pots. We're going to also whisk this, but let's start out this way. And it will be noisy. It's just how life is when you cook food. The worst thing you can do here is burn it. And you should have more butter. And of course, you should have plenty of flour on hand. It's not exactly rocket science, making a little teeny tiny roux base. Excuse my racket. When we add our half and half, we're going to continue to whisk and to use that little olive spatula I'm using to keep the side clean. Just put in a little bit. I do not have my fan on so that you're not going deaf. Ain't nobody love that. Oh, that's a little chunky up there. My heat is simply on medium. It is a propane burner. It gets hot very quickly. And one of the things I dig about Magnolite is it evenly heats through all of it. And this is all fun and games till my camera falls in the pot. Cannot lose my favorite, one of my favorite pots or saucepans. I'm going to put the rest of it in to simmer this down a little bit. This is something you can make so quickly for company. That's only 2 cups. We're going for 4. Get my spatula back to make sure my edges are clean. The edges of my pot. Here's another cup. And our 4th and final. One of the things I love about catching, cooking, and picking my own crabs, putting in a sucky bag. Your fingers get all wrinkled up doing that because you're picking like 18 or 24 crabs, however many you catch. When you freeze it, any little pieces of shell will go up to the top of that sucky bag. And you can very easily see them because in the claws, which is what we're doing, when you cook them, they become totally orange. And the same thing with the bodies. Any cartilage that you missed because your fingers were all shrunk and couldn't feel them much anymore, the cartilage will rise to the top and you can see it as well. So I have turned the heat up almost to high. I need this to come to a slight boil. Then I'm going to turn it to low, leave it uncovered. You will feel this beginning to thicken, which is why I'm still using my spatula to go around the edge of the pot. And then my whisk to make sure nothing scalds or sticks to the bottom. It ain't hard, it's just gonna be blue crab soup. Easy peasy. Would help us, Vern is on the move. So let's go ahead and add our salt and white pepper. Oh, this is such a beautiful thing. Still thickening, nothing bad is happening. I use my whisk. Let's put our Dijon. As well. In your case, try not to put it on the side of your pot. Things happen. It's getting thicker, and now we're going to add a little bit of our Everglades heat. I've never added more than a tablespoon of Tony Chachere's or Everglades heat. So I start out with the tablespoon. But this is a soup, not a spicy. And then I've got to get my sherry in here. Ooh, this is thick and nice. No sticking on the bottom. Now this will cool. I want it to get to the thickness I want because when I put my cold crab meat in there, it's going to cool this down. So it's not hard. Oh, I smelled that sherry. Okay, so let's go ahead and put our sherry in. It's very dry sherry. And I am down completely on low now. Might thicken up just a little bit more. Just want to make sure I don't scald this. If yours starts to get too hot, even on low, you can move it off of your burner. Let's try again. I'm going with the full tablespoon. And again, I've never used more than that. So we have exactly what we want for thickness. Now I'm going to begin to add my lump crab meat. I'm sorry, it's not lump, it's claw. Blue crab claw meat. Holy cow, is this gonna be good? Oh yeah. I'm doing this still so I can feel for anything that could have been a shell that I may have missed. I'll tell you, my habit eating anything with crab in it is to chew very gingerly. because there is nothing worse than a crab shell sliding between your teeth. See, there's a little piece. There's a little orange piece. Get that out of there. Make sure it didn't stick to my finger. Oops. Oh. And that is how you get a dirty stovetop. Not my first time. Now I'm going to turn this off because I do not want it to thicken more. And whoop, there it is. I'm just doing it gentle. I don't want to break up these big claws that we carefully picked. So let's get us some in a bowl and see what we think. Excuse me, I bonked you with my ladle. Excuse Fern's noise, please. It's gonna be hot, but I'm gonna give it a whirl. Put a few chives on the top, and let's give it a try. Oh yeah, nice piece of claw meat. That is fabulous. Not hard to do, very few ingredients. I'm digging it.